Alright, so all we're going to do is we are going to use our order of operations, but we're going to substitute a value in, and then just be careful when we use our order of operations. I always like to use parentheses, that way I make less mistakes, and then if I use a calculator, it's already set up so that it all works out correctly in the calculator as well. So if you notice, y equals -5. So everywhere we see a y, we put parentheses. So we take out the y and we put parentheses, we take out the y and we put parentheses. And that just helps, even if we use our calculator, that helps us be careful as we work. So we take out the y, we put in the -5. Okay, and then we work out our order of operations. So we substituted the -5 in. Now let's go through our order of operations. If you need PEMDAS, you can. Parentheses, but just remember that actually means groups. Any grouping. Exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Okay? So we have parentheses, but they're actually not grouped. It's not like there's anything inside of that. You don't have to do anything inside. So that's why we jump straight to the exponent. So, look at me, made a mistake right there. The exponent, -5 squared, is a +25. Okay? Now it says we multiply, because we see multiplication before division. These two are multiplication. -6 times 25 is 150. Okay, -11 times -5, and negative times negative is a +55, and then plus 34 still carries down. And let me be careful with this, it's a -6, so it should be a -150. I was a little sloppy there. Then we can just add them. We just go from left to right. If this was subtraction, we would still just go left to right. -150 plus 55 plus 34 is -61, okay? So, that's how we would work out those, just going one part at a time. Let me grab a calculator real quick. Okay, so now let's do the next problem. Let me leave that there. Let's do the next problem. I will just work it out, and you can just work it out. There we go. And you can just compare your answer to my answer. I probably won't need to say much. That way you can just kind of work it out yourself and double check and make sure you're on the right track. So, here we go. Alright, that one was pretty easy. Okay, substitute, multiply before you subtract. So we got that one down. This one, let me try a different color. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to do this way, and actually this is just 2 times 9 times -7. So, remember our commutative property says we could switch those around. I'm just going to go ahead and multiply straight across. 2 times 9 times -7, oops, press the wrong button. 2 times 9 times -7 is -126. Alright, so there is evaluating. And let's talk a little bit more at the bottom. A little bit more definitions here. Alright, so terms and coefficients. We talked about them a little bit already, so let's just clarify one more time. In an expression that can be written as a sum, the parts added together are called terms. So terms are separated by plus and minus signs. Okay, each part that's got a plus or minus sign in between is a term, okay? A term that has a variable part is a variable term. Okay, meaning remember it has letters in it. A term, that has no variable part is a constant term. And a lot of times I just use the word constant. So if it doesn't have a variable, that's a constant. It means that the number's never going to change. If it's plus 5, it's just 5. Doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't change, it's just a 5, okay? So when a term is a product of a number and a power of a variable, the number is called the what of the power? What is the number out front? When you've got a term, we already talked about it, it's called the coefficient. So the coefficients are the numbers in front of our terms. Okay, and again, we've already talked about it. If I've got 7n to the 4th, okay, this whole thing is a term. Okay, this would be called a variable term because it has a variable in it. And the 7 is the coefficient. Okay? So just to clarify, so that when we talk about different pieces and what you do with them, you know what you're looking at as we work with them, okay? All right, so let's take a break and let me go to the last page.